Health Center and the University of Texas at Austin. If this is concerning the widespread emergency, please hang up and call.
So I was looking to try out short-term individual counseling. I'm not in need of like immediate counseling, so it's okay if this happens later. But I just wanted to try it out before I graduated. Yeah, for sure. Thank you. That was definitely uncomfortable, but I think a good discomfort that will hopefully just open up space for me to let enjoy, be more self-aware, and yeah, it was nerve-wracking, but I feel really good about it.
Il voit des détails qu'il n'avait jamais vus. Ce matin ce n'est pas comme d'habitude. Ta robe à la couleur petit déjeuner.
One of my classes got turned into an independent study time, so a friend and I are going to go to the South Mall lawn in front of the tower and just do a little jam sesh together, because when you have free time, you sing.
Américain, mais tu te moquais. Je me souviens. Je me souviens.
Oh my gosh, I'm making it on the film. Welcome to today's episode of Ukulele Jam Sessions with Joseph and Jennifer. We're sitting in front of South Mall, in front of the lovely UT Tower, having a nice vibe session and just enjoying life. So come along on our adventures and see what shenanigans we get into today.
Now we have to do like several because you said episode.
I know, I kind of. I guess I just started something.
And so we are really living with a culture, a society that has been taught to celebrate law enforcement and policing as a practice of social control for the good of communities and for public safety, without thinking about the consequences of the brutal policing practices, especially that were used as a form of social control, targeting Black and brown bodies.
Ta robe à la couleur petit déjeuner, c'est celle que tu portais au karaoké. Quand tu te demandais ce que je devenais, je ne savais pas qu'on allait s'entrechoquer. Je ne chantais que des onomatopées. Pour faire américain, mais tu te moquais.
You're gonna have to watch me cook a little, because
Je me souviens. Je me souviens.
Wait, you look so cute.
Oh my gosh.
So today was fully my last time I'm registering for college classes. I'm on track to graduate and it's mildly terrifying. Well, more than mildly. I'm honestly still trying to figure out what exactly post-grad is gonna look like, if I'm just gonna intern during the summer and find a job for the spring, or if I'm going to fully jump into working, which I definitely know my parents would rather me do. But it's happening. spent part of today looking at some internships for the coming spring and also the summer if I end up just doing an internship. Just want to keep my options open. And I think internships are a really great opportunity to practice knowing what you're worth and what you're willing to accept. When you're interning, it's pretty easy to fall into the trap of, oh, I should be grateful for any opportunity, but it's super important to recognize what you bring, your strengths, and your value. So unpaid internships, I feel like that's a standard I try not to break moving forward. But yeah, I've just been looking around trying to gauge what are some of my interests and what's out there right now.
And I hope you realize why the clouds are always crying. May your life be a Walden pond dive, shaking flowers out the ground while you live the life you did at 5. And I hope it's testified for you the best had been denied. May your life be a Walden pond swim. May you find a love to last, and the times you have are never grim. Stay in that water and keep where you're feeling fine, but I'm just the daughter of a man who lives on oak and wine, and I swim like my father and remember good days driving miles cross county line.
What do you say? Is this the time for one more try at a happy life? So what do you say? Is this unwise to think my fears will not reprise?
So I got an interview today for an internship in the spring, and it's for a nonprofit. I spent the majority of my first few years in college doing journalism internships, and then I realized I didn't want to be a reporter and I wanted to do communications for a nonprofit. So I'm really trying to get an internship that's at a nonprofit before I graduate. Tips for interviewing. Number one, I would say, is do your research. So when you're applying for an organization or a company, you want to be sure that you're both the right fit for each other. Whether that's the salary, the job description, or their brand or reputation, what they stand for. I think it's super important that you have something to offer them and they are going to also provide you the experience that you want as well. Number two, after you've done your research, I would say an important thing is to practice. I think interviewing is definitely a skill that you can grow and improve on. It's not something you're just naturally good at. And if you are, that's awesome, but don't be discouraged if you feel nervous and if you need to practice with other people. Number three kind of relates to number two, but while it's super important what you're doing, you're applying for a job or an internship, I would say for an interview, try not to put so much pressure on it, because ultimately you're just talking with another human, you're making a connection, and also just presenting yourself in the most real way, because you're kind of talking one-to-one versus seeing who you are on paper, and that's not your full self. So yeah, application season is really stressful, it's scary, you're putting yourself out there for something you want, which is really vulnerable, but I would just say go for it, and yeah, you're capable of so much. So we'll see how this interview goes. Heading off for Thanksgiving break to my sister in Seattle. I haven't seen her since the summer, so I'm super excited to be able to spend a few days with her in her new place of work. Due to a lot of lines at the Austin airport, apparently I have to get there at least 3 hours beforehand, just to make sure I get to my flight on time. So it's time to start packing.